The company's new project cannot be launched unless the approval of the board. No error, ma'am. We know that apostrophe is used only in case of non-living things. Then why companies is used in above sentence? Please explain. Though an above question, I know answer is unless, but please clear my doubt. Look at this. First of all, let's look at it as a finding error question, right? So, first of all, let's look at it as a finding error question and see if there is any error. So, how many parts are there? The company's new project. Part 1 cannot be launched. Part 2 unless the approval. Part 3 of the board. Part 4. Do we have an error, or are you guys agreeing with Rajesh saying that there is no error? Let's address first half of it. I'm just writing down the parts, Okay, sorry, this is the next part. So, this is the sentence broken up. Subhadeep comes back and says no error. See, keep in mind, cannot be launched. Yes. What is the error? Nabina and Harita, in part 3, can you point out? There is an error. Where is the error? Anubha also. What should you change? Until, yeah, it looks like it, right? See, basically what you're saying is, until the time the board approves it, the company's new project cannot be launched. However, in this context, a more appropriate word will be without. Right? The company's new project cannot be launched without the approval of the board. Either ways, unless seems funny. Even until seems okay. Right? So, error is in part 3. Replace unless with without. Yeah, that's one. The second, so that's the first part that is addressed, Rajesh. There is an error. Error is in part 3. You change unless to without. Right? The second part, you said apostrophe is used only in case of non-living things. I don't know where you got that from. That is not the case at all. Right? Apostrophe shows possession, possessiveness. So, I could say Rajesh is, right, I'm just using an example here. I don't know if you have a sister. Rajesh's sister travelled by bus to meet us. Right? In this context, I have used apostrophe s with a living thing. Rajesh is a living thing, right? You're a living thing. Right? So, see, if I have to use unless, Sandeep, good question. I'll rephrase the entire sentence. Right? I will say, the company's new project cannot be launched unless the board approves it. It's just construction of sentence. Right? Here, yes, it is talking about a condition. The condition is the board needs to approve it. I can still use unless, but the construction of the sentence is incorrect. I need to change the sentence construction to use unless. So I will say the company's new project cannot be launched unless the board approves it. Right? The company's new project cannot be launched until the approval of the board makes more sense, or without the approval of the board makes even more sense. Right? In terms of sentence improvement, I will choose without. Where have I to deposit fees? Where have I to deposit fees? Is there any error? So why do you think part B is an error? What do you think is the error in that? See, when you have the question starting where, right? You don't change it to where I have. Because I have to deposit fees is a sentence in itself. So as a question, just to let you guys know, the sentence actually is absolutely fine. Where have I to go? Where have I to be? What we are familiar with is where do I, where should I, where is the specific place that I need to deposit the fee. But in terms of a context, in terms of a sentence, where have I is a acceptable grammatical sentence, right? So you will come across sentences like where have I parked my car? Where have I heard this song before? Right? So this is a perfectly grammatical construction that is accepted in the English language. Right? Just because we are familiar with only certain constructions does not mean this is not applicable. So I'm just giving you example sentences of where have I constructions. Where am I is a completely different meaning, right? You know, if at all we are, what do I say, have to make any corrections at all, it will ideally be in probably C, right? Usage of the definite article. Where have I to deposit the fees or where have I to deposit the fee? Either ways. So if at all there is an error, then I would say, you know, it's probably in part C where the definite article is missing. Like some of you have pointed out. It's like saying, you know, where have I to deposit the money? Where have I to deposit this particular thing that I'm looking at in terms of just specific detail? Fees is nothing but money, right? Where have I to deposit the money? Where have I to deposit the fees? So that makes sense in terms of completeness. Sari which the bride wore for the reception was 12 yards long and was very expensive. Okay, so this is a finding error obviously. As soon as we look at it, we know the sentence is divided into 4 parts. So the query that Pragyam has is, ma'am, in the sentence, why yard changes to yards? Please explain this. So, so what's the meaning of a yard first? Anybody? What does yard mean? Right? See, this might be a new word, right? This could be a new and unfamiliar word. I don't know what yard means. But look at the context. The sari which the bride wore for the reception was 12 yards long. So you can figure it out, right? What can yard mean? They are referring to, your clue is, they're talking about sari. And it's referring to the length of the sari, right? So what is yard then? Measure of length, Rajesh. Correct, right? So some sort of measure, a fundamental, it could be, it's just a unit of length, right? Murali, correct, right? So having said that, what's your clue again? I think Namrata mentioned it already. It says 12. It doesn't say 1 yard, right? It says 12, which means we're talking about a plural noun number, right? 1 yard 2, 3, 4 yards, right? So it's just a difference of singular noun number and plural noun number because we're talking more than 1 yard. It's just relating to singular plural noun numbers, and that's why Pragyam, yard changes to yards. Yep.